Is this the future of operations in CS2? That's right, after a long hiatus, we have a very much anticipated large update for CS2. We have a new item system called the Armory, featuring 3 new collections, a new weapon charm system, and a new event pass, as well as a massive amount of bug fixes, map fixes, and animation changes, making this one of the biggest CS2 content drops yet. So today, we're going to go over everything you need to know about the Armory, the new pass, everything else that's been added. So today, we're going to go over everything you need to know about this new update so you can be ready the next time you boot up. Welcome back to the channel. My name is LionHeartZ, and before we get started, make sure you guys take a second, leave a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It helps out immensely in the YouTube algorithm. I'll be streaming CS2 tonight at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, trying to grind out some of these new Armory pass points. So come drop on by, leave me a follow, and hang out. Without any further ado, let's start talking this new update. Alright, so the marquee thing added in this update is a new system called the Armory. If you load up the game right now, go to the store tab, there is a new Armory tab. What you're going to see is this UI, as well as the option to buy the new Armory Pass. The Armory Pass is a finite resource where you can earn up to 40 Armory points per pass at the cost of $15.99 USD per pass. You then exchange those points in the shop for the new 3 weapon collections, a new limited time Desert Eagle skin, new weapon charms, new stickers, and the all-new gallery case. The reason that I say this might be the future of operations is that the Armory Pass and all of this is very similar in setup to operations in the past, just without all of the extra missions and thematic tie-ins. I think this might be a way for Valve to have an evergreen system where they can come in every X amount of months, add new collections, new things to the Armory shop, and there's a continual thing to grind for over and over within the Armory, instead of having to go with these long distances between operation drops we've dealt with in the past. Getting into specifics, once you activate an Armory Pass, you can have up to 5 active passes at the same time, and generate up to 40 points, like I said, from each pass, though I'm not sure why you would have so many passes at once, because that's quite a lot of money to be dropping at one time, but hey, do you. With your Armory points, you can purchase things like I said, including the brand new weapon charm system. These are exactly like charms from Rainbow Six, Valorant, Gun Buddies, whatever you want to call them. We all know how charms work, and they're now in CS2, with the added benefit that just like stickers, they can be placed what seems to be pretty much anywhere on the weapon, which is really cool. To start off, there are 2 charms collections, these sausage ones, which are just little bean guys, or there's a whole host of weapon-based charms here with some really cool artwork, honestly. So you can choose either of those with your Armory points if you want to get a weapon charm for yourself. Moving on to what most people are going to care about from the Armory Pass, skin sales rise up. We have 3 brand new collections. Leading the way, we have the Overpass 2024 collection. I'm not going to go through every skin here because there's a lot to get through in this video, but honestly, just skimming through, I really like that we're getting essentially an M4A1S graffiti, but for the AK. That's really sick. The other collections are also really good. We have the Graphic collection, which also has a lot of really cool skins within it. And then we're rounding things out with the Sport and Field collection, which has a lot of patterns I'm actually really into. Not as many flashy skins as people might be used to, but some of these designs, especially in the lower tier skins, are really nice. And then of course, because we have to have a fade for every single item in the game, there's now a new M4A1S fade to chase for all of you fade enjoyers. Faders rise up. And lastly, if those collections aren't to your liking, we have a brand new case called the Gallery case, which also features the Kukri. So our second case in the row to feature the Kukri knives. No new Kukri skins, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's right. It's all the normal skin finishes for the Kukri, so nothing new yet for the Kukri in terms of the other finishes. But we have another case to get the Kukri from. Some cool skins within here as well. Another M4A1S Red 2 in this fucking update, which is kind of weird, but hey, whatever, Valve. Beyond that, we also have 2 sticker collections, and there's also new changes to how stickers work. You can now preview how much you're going to scrape a sticker and what it will look like. And instead of having just to click random amounts of scraping now has a slider so you can determine exactly how scraped your stickers want to be, which is a very nice change. I'm very glad that we have that. On top of that, the last thing in the Armory is a limited edition heat-treated Desert Eagle, which has unique patterns, which this is just Desert Eagle case hardened, but it's a little bit different colored. So there's now another case hardened to chase. I'm assuming these limited time items are going to be the first thing to be cycled out of the shop and probably be going pretty quick. So you can spend 25 Armory credits for that if that's what you're into. Getting into some specifics about how the Armory Pass works, you can only purchase Armory Passes if you have Prime status in-game and on the web. I believe this is obviously to limit the ability for bots to farm items. And then you can only buy Armory items with Armory credits. You can only earn Armory credits from XP you earn anywhere in the game. Armory Pass XP is not boosted by weekly XP boosters. It is a constant flat rate that just goes up the normal way you would earn XP from all regular sources. Also importantly, Armory passes or credits are not tradable or marketable. They are stuck to your account. So that's all of the nuances for the Armory. A lot of cool stuff there. Definitely a big update for the game, but that's not all. We have quite a few patch notes to get into, so let's go ahead and go over those now so you can get ready for your first match. So some important things to know about charms right out the rip is that once you attach a charm, they have to be removed with a charm detachment, which is its own consumable item. Every time you redeem a charm from the Armory, you get 3 complimentary charm detachments, after which subsequent attachments need to be purchased. I'm not sure at this time how much those are, but if I can figure it out, I'll put it on screen. Getting into the next part of the patch, let's talk inventory and items. All items acquired from the in-game store, including the Armory, trade offers, and Steam Community Market are now subject to a 7-day retrade and remarket restriction. This is to prevent you from yoinking something out the market and immediately being able to resell it. Further restrictions upon trading to prevent scamming. Always good stuff in my opinion. Those restrictions are annoying to us normal people who don't do messed up things, but there have to be barriers in place to prevent manipulation, and this is another step in that direction. All stickers, patches, and charms available on the Steam Community Market in the Armory or on Friends Steam inventory web pages can now be previewed on your own inventory items, which is really cool. If you want to see how a certain craft is going to look ahead of time on your own personal stuff, you can now do so. They've now removed the ability to delete weapon cases from your inventory. Good change. As we already talked about, there's now sticker scrape level selector when applying new stickers to weapons, the new slider bar, and there's also specific wear levels so you can pick whatever you want if you don't want to slide the bar. They finally added a way to immediately remove existing stickers from inventory weapons in addition to sticker scraping. One of my biggest gripes for years is that if you wanted to get a sticker off, you had to click it 17 times to get rid of it. Now you can just take it off right away if you want to remove it. They then bug fixed several cases where applying name tags or stickers will unequip the weapon from your loadout. Good change. And then they added a change where customizing a base weapon that's currently equipped will now auto-equip the newly customized version. Thank you, Valve. Moving on to the biggest chunk of the update, there has been a complete overhaul to character animations to fix character desync and make what you're seeing when enemies peek you a lot more consistent. They've improved character posing on all large slopes. They made feet pin and unpin differently for all use cases to help remove aggressively leaned characters. This was the infamous MJ lean that's been in the game for a very long time. They have made a change so that pin and unpin IK logic is now not affected by poor server ping times. And feet IK now repositions to auto pose if the feet have pinned at a largely different pose to that authored. This is just so that character animations resync themselves faster, so you don't have weird character animations making things very hard to discern what's going on. They then reauthored run, walk, and crouch content to fix wide and scissor leg posing when traversing, so that you guys aren't crab walking as much. Good change. They've changed ladder animations and behavior so character heads are much more representative of where the player camera is, including characters now display crouched correctly when on ladders. This one's really good. For a long time, character animations just looked wonky on ladders, made it really hard to shoot people. Thankfully, that's now been fixed. This is a really big change. They've removed popping when crouching or uncrouching while jumped and reduced leaning on jump animations. If you don't know what this means, previously if you jump and then crouch midair, your character stutters. His head moves up and down very fast, and that made it very hard to actually take someone out when they were jumping and crouch jumping at the same time. This popping would happen a lot in the game. It's been in CSGO for years, and it's finally been fixed. To go with that, they fixed character pose popping when falling off of a ledge. Same thing, just like when crouch jumping, sometimes when falling off a ledge, your character will pop up and down slightly. That's now been fixed. Finally, a fix for many cases where characters posing would subtly pop when traversing with slow-moving weapons. Thankfully, all that is gone. The character popping was something we just dealt with for years, and it's now been taken away. In terms of gameplay, we have one change to flashbangs and HE grenades where they will no longer prematurely detonate when they exceed their stuck bounce limit. If you're not aware of what this is, you could sometimes get nades stuck in certain areas of geometry and cause them to go off prematurely. You can no longer do that now. It was very niche and sometimes it would just happen on accident, but no more. We have some minor graphic changes. There's now a drop down for non-windowed full screen and fix some graphic artifacting with the fire effect in the advanced video tab. We got some minor audio fixes. The big one is that there was an issue sometimes where ragdoll water splashdowns would erroneously play on a live players. This is where even if you were walking, sometimes you would make a splash sound in water on Anubis or Ancient specifically, and that's now fixed. Thankfully, that was a very annoying bug. We have a very big networking change, big as in this is a lot of words. From my understanding, this is just fixing an issue where sometimes packets could be misdelivered or seen as misdelivered by the server, when in reality they arrived normally and that would cause some packet loss or lag. That's now been fixed. We got some workshop changes for you workshop creators out there. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause and do so. In terms of MISC, some console lines were removed. Don't know which ones are specific, but I'm assuming not that big of a deal. And then finally, we are running things off with a bunch of map fixes. For Ancient, they fixed some issues with disappearing geometry, fixed some cases where players could detect player movement through water from across the map, which is the above audio change. Some pixel peaks have been fixed, specifically the one from the back of B site where you could see through the bricks towards B ramp. That one is now gone. Fixed a case where player shadows could be seen through geometry. Thankfully, that one's gone. And they adjusted some clipping for better player movement. This is primarily around T-spawn, I believe, when you were heading towards A site, but it could be some other places as well. Moving on to Anubis, they fixed some missing collision, nudged some geometry and clipping that were blocking grenade throws, improved clipping on some floors for more predictable grenade throws, fixed a pixel peak. I believe this was the one through mid doors, if I remember correctly. Then they adjusted clipping in a few areas for better player movement. Dust 2 got rid of some clipping at the B site. Italy has been added to competitive matchmaking, so if you want to play hostage competitively, you can now do so. Enjoy. There's now something other than office for you hostage fanatics. Mirage fixed some C4 stuck spots. Good job. Nuke, they got rid of the pixel walk in A Heaven. Good job. Fixed some C4 stuck spots. Jesus Christ. Fixed some gaps in geometry where items could get lost. Fixed some disappearing geometry. Good job. Then Overpass got rid of some grenade clipping. No one cares if it's not in the pool anymore. Overall, a very big patch, a lot of good stuff here. I believe the Armory is going to be a nice, cool, like evergreen update where if you have the money, you can get some stuff to grind towards some guaranteed items. And I'm sure someone who's a lot smarter than me is going to do the math on what the most effective way is to make your money back. I'm not qualified to do that. I'm sure we'll figure that out over the next couple of days and weeks. Other than that, pretty cool update. Glad to see Valve doing something. I'm sure this is going to be the framework for further updates coming down the line, and fixing the animations is going to make the game feel a lot more smooth. In the meantime, now all we need to do is focus on getting rid of vertigo. Valve, please. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. These videos are powered by advanced.gg. If you go to the link in the description down below and check out their website, browse any of their excellent products and decide to make a purchase, use my code LIONS10 at checkout for 10% off. Thank you to advanced.gg. I also work with Refrag. They just debuted their new Pre-Fire 2.0 game mode to help you get even better at the game. If you check out Refrag at the link in the description, decide to get a subscription, you can use my code LION15 for 15% off your first subscription. Thank you to Refrag. Shout out to my channel members, Justin, Jesse, Furley, Dr. Cocktor, Milan Berta, Bubblesj. If you want to become a channel member, you can do so at the link in the description down below. Helps me out immensely. If not, you can always follow me on Twitch as well. Like I said, I'll be live later tonight, 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, playing the new update, so come on by and say hello. Other than that, I'll see you guys soon with a new video. Peace.